my dear student, now we need to talk about the last phase of an interview. And the last phase is informing the applicant about what happens next. Telling an applicant what happens after the interview is over. This is the other aspect of the format that has a fixed place at the end of the interview. So as we are talking about the first phase of the interview, that is the introductory, would never be changed. And the last phase, which is about the closing of the interview, would never be changed. So it must be placed at the end of the interview. When you are sure you have all the information needed to make an informed decision, just as some interviewers have trouble knowing how to begin interview, others are uncertain on how to end them. So two phases are very difficult. First one, that how to start the interview. Most of the interviewers are having a problem in starting the interview. And second is how to close the interview. So ending is also very much important. To help you decide if it's time to close an interview, ask yourself the following questions. First question, have I asked the applicant enough questions about her education and previous experience to determine job suitability? So this is one of the most important questions which you need to ask from yourself. Because without getting information about the previous education and the previous work history, obviously there is no benefit to conduct interview. So this is most important and urgent question which must need to be answered, which must need to be questioned from the interviewee. Second question, have I adequately described the available position and provided sufficient information about the organization? This is also a must asked and must answer question, because it is your responsibility to provide the maximum information about the job opening and the organization as well. Number 3, have I discussed salary, benefits, growth, opportunities, and other related topics to the extent the policy of this company permits? Because this is relevant to the policy of the companies, and some information need to be provided in the start of the interview. So have I provided all these information? Have I discussed salary, benefits, and other information to the company, about the company to the applicant? So this is important to answer. And number 4, have I allowed the applicant to ask questions? It is very much commonly happen in most of the interview that the interviewer are asking questions and they never allow applicants to answer questions. So it is very much important to ask applicant that if you have any question from myself, please you can ask freely. And as with the first stage, what one says at the conclusion of an interview may seem obvious. We still have several applicants to consider. We will be in touch when we have completed the whole interview process, or some variation thereof seems sufficient. But there are more that can be said or implied depending on your level of interest in the applicant. Consider these 3 possibilities. What are those possibilities? High level of interest. If you are showing high level of interest to the candidate, to the applicant, then what you will say? Thank you for coming in today, Mr. Saqib. I have enjoyed talking with you and learning about your qualification. I would like to confirm your continued interest in this job before continuing. As the next step in the interview process, I would like to arrange for your meeting with our Vice President of Marketing. I'll call you by the end of this week with a day and time. So you are welcoming him and you are asking him to meet our Vice President of Marketing. Means you are showing some kind of interest in Mr. Saqib if you have a high level of interest. There is a moderate level of interest which is in between. Thank you for coming in today, Mr. Saqib. I found our meeting to be quite informative. We are in the process of interviewing a number of qualified applicants and hope to reach a decision within the next several weeks. So here your time period is a little more. You are saying within several weeks we will finalize and we will conduct more interviews. And please feel free to call me with any questions in the interim. You will be hearing from me regardless of our decision. So there are some chances. There is a moderate level of interest. There are some chances that Mr. Saqib would be selected for this particular position, but you are giving him more time to make decisions. And low level of interest can be there. Thank you for coming in today, Mr. Saqib, and for allowing me to review your all qualification for the position of marketing representative. It's been most informative. We are nearing the end of our interviewing process and expect to be reaching a decision by the beginning of the next week. So here your level of interest is not that good. So it's up to you. It's about the interviewing process, how it gone. So if it would be good, you would show high level of interest, then moderate level of interest, and then low level of interest. And this would give you a better idea that how to end up the interview.